God, it's Friday. I'm so excited to be on another episode of Tea or Coffee on your number one first full HD television station in Nigeria. I am super excited. Mojupe. No, why did I even call you?
I was wondering because you're supposed to introduce me.
I don't think I want to do that today. I'm not feeling your vibe this morning, so
Oh, really?
I'm not going to introduce you. So, good morning, everyone. Of course, my name is Wura Olakpopola, and with me in the studio, and I have to just introduce her, so the show can go smoothly. With me, with me in the studio, I have Modupe Jacob.
Hi.
Hi, darling. How was your night?
Should we get started on my nights?
Of course, we should.
Okay, my night was fine.
Okay.
I didn't get to sleep well though because I
Why?
was working.
You were working even at night.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm a workaholic like that.
Wow, you deserve some accolades.
Yes.
Wait on ma.
Wait on ma.
Wait on ma.
Yes.
So you're not going to ask me how my night was.
I was.
Did you
to
see
that
why
now.
I didn't just want
I
to
was
introduce her?
getting
Because
to that.
I know that you don't like me that much. But don't worry.
Yes, I don't
I'm
like
going
you.
to- I'll
I don't
ask the question and I said myself.
I don't like you that
Wura,
much. I
how
love
was your
you
night?
that much.
No, don't bother. You don't even bother. Wura, how was your night? Okay, I'm going to answer myself now. My night.
Really?
Okay, actually,
How was your night?
I had a splendid night. It was good. I didn't sleep early
Okay.
as early as I expected, but I still slept well.
And you look
I had
so
my
amazing.
AC on, cozy, and all
I
of
don't
that.
give you a compliment now. I said you look amazing.
Oh, thank you. You look good too. I love your hair. It's
And I
so
love
nice.
your dress.
Anyway, it feels good to be. It's been Modupe here since Monday, and
Yeah.
it feels good to actually be with Modupe now.
Yes.
Okay, so we're flashing back. It's Flashback Friday, and
Yes.
we're flashing back to what happened yesterday.
Wura, no.
She doesn't want me to talk about it,
I'm just
but
going to keep quiet while you do the talking.
okay,
right now.
okay, fine, no problem. Let me not talk about yesterday,
Okay.
So Modupe won't cut
I'll
off my
sit
head after the show. Okay, let's flash back to when we had staff and everyone talk about have a bond talk. Like everyone
Oh,
came together
yes.
to, bond and talk about stuff. And you can imagine, in between, someone's wig
combination.
got removed. And I could not stop laughing,
That part.
No, don't worry, it's not Modupe, because I'm sure most people would actually think it's, it's
Actually,
not Modupe.
I'm not wearing a wig, so.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know what? Yes, talking about the entertainment industry, did you
Yes.
see that music video of Banky W?
Yes, I watched
Over.
it yesterday. Running After You.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing video.
Amazing video,
It just made me want to think
No,
about...
spill it out, yes.
Think about,
Okay.
falling in love, getting married.
Falling in love
Having
coming from the
children.
almighty Modupe.
Oh
Wow.
my, really?
Wow, then the music video was...
But the video was really amazing.
Yes,
It
yes,
was
yes,
amazing.
it was.
And I don't think he had to spend so much shooting that video.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
It was more like a green screen. And because at the end of it, they actually showed, how everything came together. And I like the fact that he put together couples that are in the industry and are still
and it
together
was
and
so
are waxing
fun.
strong.
Like, yes.
Especially one particular one.
My eyes
You know
on
what
you.
I'm talking about?
Okay, the stories that we tell each other tries and makes sense of our existence.
Yes.
Stories actually make sense of our existence. Jealousy, anger, love, we've always heard and seen all these things in movies. And we've seen it and watched over and over again. And we'll keep talking about it, which takes us to our topic for today.
Yes. Should
Imagine. No. Imagine.
No, let's do it this way.
Okay.
So our topic for today is drum roll.
Boom, boom. No, two of us can't do the best together. You have
I'll
to be
do
tremble.
it, then you say, no, I'll do and then
Let me
you
do
say
the guitar. Oh, yeah, you go.
Okay. The topic for today
is... I sounded so funny. Don't make me do this. Okay, so the topic for today is emerging in creative industry, emerging in creative industry. So we'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we would let you know who our guest is.
Yes.
And talk more on emerging in the creative industry. Of course, stay tuned, and when we come back, we'll keep talking.
Yeah.
Have a thrilling and bonding experience at High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort. Enjoy an amazing retreat in our extremely secured environment with our breathtaking rides. Set goals for the upcoming year in our convenient multi-purpose halls. Bond between team members while giving your staff a desirable treat. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
When you think about it, there's a lot to celebrate in our lives. From the smallest milestones to our biggest moments, we'll pamper you at High Impact Planet. Whatever the occasion, let's celebrate you at High Impact Planet, where fun just got real.
Of course, I'm Modupe Jacobs, and I still have Wuraola Popola here with me.
Hi.
Okay, so before we went on that break, we said we were going to bring in our guest. And of course, our guest is here already. His name is Michael Akinrogunde. Did I get that?
Yes.
Also known as Alma Psalmist.
Okay.
And he is a film director, stroke a filmmaker. And his short movie, Penance, was nominated for the AMVCA. That's Best Short Film or Online Video.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, hello.
Hi, Modupe.
Michael.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Why did you do...
I'm fine.
When she,
Yeah,
she said Michael
because some
Akinrogunde,
folks
doesn't
mix up the pronunciation of the surname.
okay,
Yeah, so.
okay,
But she
but I
got
got
it.
it.
Yes.
Come on, Yoruba name, swagger. Okay, now. I'm handing over the baton to
You
you.
will not hand over the baton. Oh, see, Modupe is not doing batting now. I'm on the
Yes.
field now, right? Okay. All right. Michael, what inspired you into starting with short films?
Well, typically for a lot of filmmakers, almost every filmmaker I know has, at one point or the other, especially in the early stages of their career, done short films. Because it is, well, easier to do. Yeah, and then when you want to talk to a prospective investor or you want to talk to actors, you need to have content, like stuff that you've done before. So you may not have as much resources as you need to make a feature-length film or a series or something, but then you can pull up resources, talk to your friends, family. It's easier to make a short film, and then short films allow for creativity since you're going straight to the point to your story. So as a filmmaker, it's advisable to do a short film. If you have the resources, it's a good learning stage too, but if you have the resources to do a feature-length film, it is better to mess up a 7 minutes to 10 minutes film than to mess up a 1 hour 30 minutes movie. Yeah, so short films, most filmmakers do short films first. So, well.
All right, so let me take you back. What did you study in university?
Mechanical engineering.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
You know, because we always get that shock.
Yes, we
So
always
you
do.
studied mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
What made you, divert into filmmaking?
Well, whenever I have to answer this question, I always have to say that I feel like I owe my dad's school fees for 5 years.
No, true. I think you should return the school fees.
Yeah, we're working on it.
And then you didn't even choose a 4 years
At all.
course.
Yeah.
5 years. And then you end up not even being in line with
Doing
that
anything.
profession.
Yeah, but then I
Activity.
wasn't forced to study mechanical engineering. I actually do like mechanical engineering. I like engineering because like I like to open stuff up and know what's inside and all of that. And initially wanted to go for piloting, but I felt piloting was like you can become a pilot in like 2 years if you go to a piloting school. So I felt it didn't have as much knowledge as I would like to have as a professional. So I wanted to do mechanical first and then do piloting. But then I've always been involved in film, drama from primary school, church, and all of that. But in 300 level, I think. So I was in the theater group in school, Covenant University Theater Group. And then we were planning drama nights. And then, I don't know, it was so easy to be in that niche, in that space. I would work for 16 hours, 17 hours and not get tired, and I want to wake up the next morning to continue. So there was no voice from heaven or dream or anything, but I had honestly had peace, and I feel like when it's something that you should be doing, then things start to open up in that regard, like in that space for you. So yeah. So from 300 level, like second semester, like I was sure that this is what I wanted to do. So that's when I started reading a lot about films, doing research, and then basically thinking of how to present it to my parents that this is what I want to switch into. So even for my master's, I was already processing to go for aeronautical engineering, but I had to stop. Like I said, I want to do film. I wanted to put film, but you have to send the form to your parents to sign. So nah. So you want to be carrying camera up and down for the rest of your life. But basically, the reason parents say that is not that they don't want you to study what you want to study. They just want to know that what you're studying can sustain you. So basically, I had to explain and prove that there are filmmakers that actually sustain their families and careers with filmmaking alone. So I had to just prove that. Well, you can't prove it over. You have to prove it over time. Yeah. So the diversion was gradual. It was like it was just a little realization, then it grew into full passion.
Okay.
So at what point did you now tell them?
Well, while processing the masters,
and what was their reaction?
Oh, like Momsi.
That reaction is
Momsi always wanted me to be in the arts. Yeah, like because I was very expressive, like singing, drama, so I've always been expressive. So I think Momsi kind of knew that I would end up in the arts, but I wanted to do law, and she said that they would kill me because my mouth is too sharp. So I didn't do law again. So, but Daddy is a mechanical engineer, and like
nice.
and we're really close. So when he's fixing cars, he's fixing something around the house, I'm helping him, holding it. So I just really got interested, and I'm like, oh, okay, he has money. Maybe if I do it, I'll have money. So, but it was exciting. Mech was really, really exciting. I mean, yeah. So when I told Mommy, she knew, but for Daddy, he's the one that I had to do a lot of convincing for, like, sit down, explain to me, do my popsy, do presentation.
Paying the school.
Yes. So
expect me to just pay school fees and
NYSC was my window to do it. So I was working in an engineering firm. After like 3 days, I just never went back. It was hell.
Did you just say 3 days?
Yes. Oh yeah, like the first day they just sent me to buy amala. Because they said I was their boy. Second day, almost the same thing. Third day, I didn't go back. So I started as a media intern at Hope Foundation, Eagles Hope Foundation. And then from there, I learned like a lot about, because I had more time and I could practice because it was a growing organization. So yeah. So after like months, like 6-7 months, that I wasn't asking for money from Popsy. It was like, so what are you doing? I was like, is this film thing? Oh, like, okay. Yeah. So as long as you can sustain yourself with it, I think they eventually come around.
Okay, aside from Michael Akirogunde, you're also known as I'm a Psalmist. How did you come up with that name?
I didn't come up with that name. Yeah.
Okay.
My friends came up with the name. Ama basically is my name initials.
Okay.
Yeah. Akirogunde Michael Akinkule.
Okay.
Yeah, then psalmist is like when I used to sing back in university.
Oh, you
so
sing too.
Ah.
I
I used to. I tried.
mean, did you hear the he said he was interested in law. He was interested in mechanical engineering.
Being a
Oh.
He was
pilot.
interested
Right, it's going to
in
sound. Now it sounds
being
like.
a pilot. Like,
Oh, but then for mech and piloting and
okay.
aeronautics, it was
Yeah,
a
it
path
was
I was
kind
trying
of
to
weird.
follow.
now
So,
share this interest. Share.
but yeah, so
And now
psalmist
you-
was from
you-
there.
you
So it
also
was just
sing.
Amma and psalmist, and then psalmist also for writing because I'm a screenwriter. So
Okay.
I get a lot of inspiration from God. So yeah, I
Okay, so
Try to relate.
when starting, do you think starting a movie,
Yeah.
starting a short film, is usually starting a short film in the industry? Do you think it's harder than getting started, or sustaining your stay in the industry? Which of them do you think?
okay,
is-
which is harder?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to think of it like this. Like any machine, ignition is the important thing to do. But then also with ignition, you need fuel. So starting should be harder than sustenance,
Okay.
in my opinion. Starting should be harder because you need to overcome a lot of fears. You need to learn a lot to start. But then if you do not have the discipline as fuel, and discipline basically, you won't be able to be consistent to sustain yourself. So starting is a bit harder, but then if you do not drive yourself, it would also be hard to sustain. Starting should be harder.
Okay. Now, for those who do not know what a short film is,
Yeah.
how would you describe a short film? What does it entail?
Okay, film is film. First thing, setup, inciting incident resolution, 3 basic parts of a script. A short film is just a shorter version of this. So, short film, what makes a short film? What makes a feature length film, a long film for people that do not know film lingua, is length. Short films usually range between 8 to 15 minutes. In some countries, 15 minutes to about 30 minutes. But once it starts to go beyond 30 minutes, then it starts to become a feature-length film. Feature-length films start from about 40 minutes to Indian films to 3 hours. So come on, yeah. So short films from 8 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Pretty much, I'll advise to keep it between 8 and 15, 20, yeah.
Okay.
Safer.
So, how do you get your ideas or concept for your movies?
Okay. How? It's from a lot of sources.
Okay.
It's from a lot of sources. There's no one source. I get from talking to people. I get from watching other films. I get a lot of ideas from locations.
Okay.
Like I could just see a space, like see one thatched, roofed apartment, and think of a story. Like, what is the worst thing that can happen in that environment? Yeah. Of course, I get from friends that send stories to me that, oh, this thing happened. Do you think you can make it into a film? That happens too. And then a good way I always advise people to get ideas is from challenging yourself. One of the best, or one of my favorite scripts was from a challenge. I saw something online, think about writing something with this character that is handicapped. It was actually Nia Kimolayan for a competition. One character was handicapped, one character would not speak throughout the movie. So when you try to put all of these people in the same space, what do you think can come out of it? Yeah. So just try and be open to get ideas from anywhere. Yeah, and then many times I actually pray and dream of scripts. Like, that happened too many times. So the Holy Spirit also helps me to put my ideas together. And even when you get from all these sources, you need to make them into scripts because it's just story in your head. Yeah.
Okay, is it more difficult to work on feature films than short films, since it's longer?
Oh yeah, definitely should be more difficult.
Okay.
Film is, I don't like to say film is hard, but film requires a lot of planning and deliberateness. For feature-length films, so if you are doing 10 minutes, you need to do those 10 minutes that you do a short film like 20 times. So you need like 10 times, or 10 times the kind of efficiency that you'd need to do a short film. So yes, it is harder because you are doing something for a longer time. You are doing a short film 1 day, 2 days, you are done shooting. You are doing a feature-length film 15 days, 20 days, you are still shooting different locations, different characters. So you just need, as long as you can comport yourself together, just multiply the same efficiency you would use to do a shorter film.
Okay. So how do you cast for short films?
Honestly, for most short film, casting is by reference because most short film directors are first-time directors, second-time directors, or experimental projects. So you want to be really, really sure of your casting. You do not have all the funding to pay A-list actors. Do you understand? So first of all, from observation, watch a lot of films. Know the kind of... I don't like this particularly because it makes filmmakers stereotype cast. So if you see that this person is bad, a bad guy in this film, in your head when you are writing your film, you would think of him as a bad guy, and it limits the actor's versatility. So what I do is reference. There are some things to look out for in actors: responsiveness, switch of emotions, rise and fall in pitch. You get stuff like that. If you see that if an actor is a good actor, of course, there are roles better suited for some actors. So for casting, for short films, reference. If you want to cast, you need to hold casting auditions, money. You need to bounce people money. You don't want to start making enemies when you're just starting out. Do you get? So basically talk to senior colleagues in the industry, talk to your mentors, ask them, okay, this is the script, who would you advise that I use in the industry to play such roles?
All right, thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
We have been talking to Michael Akinrogunde.
Akinrogunde.
No, you know he praised you at
You
first
just passed it up.
he praised you at first that you got it right, and now you are beginning to,
Akinrogunde.
Akinrogunde,
Right,
yes.
We have been talking to Michael Akinrogunde, and we will continue the discussion, but we have to go on a short break. So please do stay glued because we will be right back.
Walking into comfort in a safe environment is every family's dream. At High Impact Planet Resort, our fully furnished service apartment is a home away from home. Amazing views right in your luxurious world. Work out to keep fit for an amazing body at the gym. Get affordable groceries and personal care items at the supermarket. Feel relaxed and beautify yourself at the fully equipped spa. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Last week, Wednesday.
How long has it been since your last confession?
Oh, it's been 3 to 4 years. I'm not sure. It's been about 3 to 4 years and so fuck it.
Please, what's your language?
I'm sorry, Father. I am a drug addict. I have been since... I don't remember. It's my best kept secret. 3 days ago, I killed my neighbor. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. He caught me sniffing. I only wanted to knock him out for 1 minute, but he died.
We just saw the movie Penance by Michael. So let's talk about Penance.
Okay.
What inspired that story? Because I watched the movie before now, and you know, for it to even be nominated for AMVCA, then you must have put in a lot of hard work.
Yes.
So what inspired the story, the directing, everything about the movie?
Okay. First of all, I'd like to... I made Penance as a... what's the word to use now? It was the prize for being one of the winners of the Accelerate Filmmaker project by Accelerate TV and Access Bank and Afrif. A lot of the hard work that you mentioned actually was done by the Accelerate team. It was my first time directing, like actually directing. So it was more of a learning experience for me than a working experience. As regards inspiration, so we all had to pitch our stories, our scripts to the panel. Joke Silva, Osiu KJ, Nyaki Molayon, Lala Kindoju, Shei Babatope. And then what we had, like I wrote Penance in one night, in 3 hours. The script that I had earlier that I wanted to pitch, I presented it to our coach and our mentor, Lala Kindoju. And then she felt like there was more we could all do with our stories. And then when I pitched mine to her, she said I should go and work on it or write something different. So when I got back home, I was blank. But then what I wanted to do with the film was, at that point, I didn't want to do a conventional story. Yeah, and then I wanted to address stereotypes. So a lot of people feel that people's positions, like if you see someone wearing, let me be careful not to, if you see someone wearing a priest cloth, for example, you just assume that the person is good all through, like, yes, or if you see someone like Nigeria with like earrings and dreadlocks and tattoos, yeah, this one is a bad guy. So I wanted to try and address at least one of those kind of stereotypes that a person's general outlook does not necessarily mean this is who they are. So yeah, I thought of using a priest and using a drug addict. So I wanted to see if you put two conflicting characters in the same position. And then, I don't know how, it just came together. Yeah, there was no process, like film, I just knew what I wanted to do, then create conflicts and resolute, yeah.
All right. Okay. So for how long have you been creating short films?
When you say creating short films, well, writing is part of the creation. I've only made one that I have released, but I have made about 4 short films. One will never be released. The first one.
That is the one we're going to talk about.
Exactly.
That one.
The first one will never be released. It was my first one. Didn't know anything, but I was just passionate. Yeah. Now, if you want to watch it, you can only watch it on my phone or my laptop. Yeah. I'm I'm not
But
putting
if
it
you
online.
remind me after the show, I need
Yes.
to get
Ah,
this
but,
one.
but I should put it online so that a lot of other people can learn from the
Learn,
mistakes.
yes,
But
yes.
if I put it now,
That is a good idea.
I might cry for the first few days when I release it. Then the last one I made, Ghana Street League, is yet to be released. Actually, it's doing a festival round now. So some of the festivals require that you do not put it online yet. If not, it disqualifies you. So yeah, that's why we're stalling on the release. But soon it will be online. And then the last one, I made the first two, in fact, during the 48-hour film project. We had 48 hours to make a film and submit. And then I made 2 films with my team. So, yeah, but that one too hasn't been released because we really like the idea, but we don't like how we shot it. Like the story, I think it's brilliant, so we are reshooting it. But if we release it now, the story will be out there. So it's actually a really good film, but we just feel we can do better with the execution.
Okay.
So I have released one, and then Ghana Street League should come out later this year or early next year.
Okay.
So maybe in a later time, would you go into shooting or creating feature films?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you're just starting with this.
Yes, I think that's the dream of every filmmaker.
Okay.
Personally, I have feature-length scripts that I cannot wait to shoot, but you need to build momentum. You need to have content that people can invest in you with, and people need to see that you know what you're doing. Basically, that's why, because investors like to know what their ROI is, so they need to know that you know what you're doing. Hopefully, we have enough money to and can produce the films ourselves, but definitely I'm looking forward to making feature-length films.
Okay, talking about money,
Yes.
you know, when people hear short films, they hear that, okay, it's short, so it shouldn't take much.
Low budget.
It should be a low-budget movie because it's a short film rather than spending so much. Meanwhile, when you see short films at times, you know, it takes a lot. It might be short, but, you know, the budget,
Exactly.
the producer or director must have put in a lot of money to actually acquire that 15-minute short film. So, do you think it is actually more expensive to shoot a short film than a feature film?
Well, for film, expense is always directly proportional to script.
Okay.
I have a short film that I hope to shoot this year or next year, and it has to cost about 5 million to do it.
Short film.
Yes,
Please, how many minutes?
it's 15 minutes,
15
2 locations.
minutes, and you're going to spend 5
Yes,
million.
because the film there's explosion in the film.
Okay.
There's a lot of CGI, and if you want to get good CGI, you need to be ready to spend money.
Please, what's CGI?
Computer-generated images,
okay.
basically film trick.
Okay.
Yes, so,
okay.
but the script is a 15-minute script, and then with that 5 million, if you have one hell of a producer, you can make a feature film.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it because if you are using 2-3 locations, one house, you have your location and you have your cameras for 7 days. You just pay cast, pay crew, have your script, and you can kill a feature-length film with the same 5 million. So it depends on what the script requires, basically. If but for short films, since you're just starting, I'll try to keep your script as simple as possible. For this film that I hope to do, for me, it's very experimental for where I want the film to go. Yeah, but for short films, you just want people to see what you can do. Do a really brilliant story. Don't do your weakest story as your short film. Do your strongest story. Reduce your locations, reduce your cast. Try to reduce money because your short film naturally should be less expensive because the script is shorter. But then the complexity of the script also might make it really expensive. So it's not a matter of the length or the kind of film. It's the complexity of the script that determines how expensive.
Okay, before your short film could get nominated for an award, I'm sure you must have put in a lot of things. How did you push out the film, especially now in this modern time, whereby the social media is a good tool for people to know what you're doing, to see, for a good tool for publicity. So how did you push push out your short film out there,
Finance,
such
okay.
that it got nominated for an award?
Okay, well, as regards getting nominated, for the AMVCAs, you get nominated when you submit your film.
Okay.
Some festivals do a film scouting procedure, and then find your film and then reach out to you if you want your film to be in their festival.
Okay.
But for the AMVCA, you submit your film and then you'll go through panels and judges, and then if they feel your film is worthy enough to get nominated, then you get nominated. For pushing it out, when you need your people to rally behind you, because social media, people most times click or watch stuff on an emotional basis, and then the best kind of reference is word of mouth. So make the best stuff that you can make, because people find it hard to support stuff that even they are not proud of. Do you understand what I'm saying? If your friend does a really great song and you listen to it and it is really great, he doesn't need to do too much convincing to tell you to push it out. But if the song is, you know, even when he says, hey, can you help me send to your contacts? You send to your guys that are your contacts, so that if they yab you, you can take it. You won't send to a total stranger. Yes, so make great content and then be a really good person, like to people, so they can support you. And then if the content is good, it gets to a point where it starts to travel on its own. That's why some views can go for 7 months, it is on like 1,000 views, just going around that circle, and then somebody really important sees it because it is good content, shares it, and it goes to 10,000 the next day. You get, so make the content really great and then have your people support you. Do your own support. See, blow your own trumpets. Like, you need to, we all need to learn to blow our own trumpets. Yeah.
Okay, talking about festivals, you know, organizing a festival, you spend a lot.
Yes.
Bringing people together to see something. Do you think it is worth it, having to spend that much to organize a festival, for people to come and watch short films like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then they go?
Okay, festival. When you think of festival, the first thing you think of is celebration, New Yam Festival, celebration, blah, blah, celebration. Festival is, so a film festival is what, a celebration of films. That's why there are awards and there are nominations, because you are celebrating the filmmakers and the films that they've made. So it is always a good idea to celebrate work that people have put in. But then when you say short film festival, they're not, almost all festivals have slots for short films and award nominations for short films. But I do not know a lot of festivals that are strictly short film festivals. I think that would be great, because there's something that recognition does. It gives you drive. It gives you a lot of drive. So if you actually, like this festival that just held last year, the iPhone Festival, Film Festival. Personally, I want to do a movie with an iPhone now. Do you get? And then when you inspire people to take on challenges like that, it allows for a lot of creativity. A lot. I only recently found out that you could rack focus. You could rack focus with an iPhone. Camera guys would know what I'm talking about. If you want to take a picture with your phone, there's a place you tap that lighting will be better. The place you tap that the blur would. Basically, you change the focus. So I want to do a movie with an iPhone because I want to explore some aspects of cinematography with a phone. Do you understand? So festivals, like short film festivals, allow for that broadness. Like, you can see how diverse, you can see low budget increases creativity. You can see how much more risks filmmakers are willing to take for if you have a short film festival. Yeah, so I think it should be a thing. I definitely think it should be a thing. I mean, it's expensive to do a festival here, depending on how you want the festival to be. Short film festival, like Indie View Lagos, they show short films like almost every month, and you could call it a festival in a way. You get, and projectors, people come together, watch the film, talk about the film, ask filmmaker questions. That's basically the same thing that happens in most festivals. You get, so we could organize a festival, a short film festival. Yeah, it would be amazing, because you would you realize that people actually have content. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, do you think streaming platforms have helped to impact in the space of short film?
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. Because the thing with short films is, it is hard to tell a TV station to play your short film. Like my friend and mentor and senior colleague SLK short film that I managed the production. I was very happy. I'm always very happy when I see it on Africa Magic, because it is not so easy to okay, what are you selling in short film? How many minutes? 15 minutes. So where will we look for 15 minute slots to put your film now? That's what they ask you. Do you get? But when you have streaming platforms like YouTube, it is for everybody. Put your film there and get people to go and watch it there, because it's always there. Do you get? And the thing again with streaming platforms, if you use the right ones, you can make money from your short film. It's like music platforms. If you use Spotify or Apple Music, 99 cents, you make money. So you can, and that should also be a thing where you can just put short films and make money from. So streaming platforms are essential for short films. Absolutely essential.
Okay. So in making short films, how many days does it take?
Again, depends on the script.
I knew you were going to say that, but I didn't need to
Everything
elaborate.
depends on the
Exactly.
script.
I
Yes,
know it depends on the script, but just
for
give us, based
range.
on the ones that you've worked on.
Yeah.
How many days?
Okay, first, like Penance, we shot Penance in 2 days. Shot Penance in 2 days.
Okay.
You want to think of your actors, you want to think of your crew. I don't think it is fair to work a crew beyond 12 hours or work actors beyond 12 hours. That's like the global standard. And then it's human body, you get tired.
Okay.
So for a short film, 15 minutes, 1 day, 2 days is enough. If you plan well, if your script is as simple as a short film should be. 1 to 3 days, because then it's production, anything can happen. Anything that can happen will happen. So 1 to 3 days, give 1 day for contingency.
Okay, so once you can handle camera, or
Yes.
you have an idea of camera, does that qualify you to be a director or a filmmaker?
Well, even if you can handle camera, it doesn't qualify you to be a director.
Okay.
Even if you can handle camera, it doesn't qualify you to be a DOP. Your knowledge of camera and
What's
lighting, director of photography.
Okay.
It is your knowledge of camera and lighting that qualifies you to be director of photography. In Hollywood, there are many DPs, many DOPs that do not handle camera. They come on the set, they tell you what to set on the camera, they light the sets, they light how the director wants the set to be lighted. And these are trained professional DOPs, and they would never touch the camera. But most times it is better for the DOP to handle the camera, because he can explain what he wants to the second, third camera operator, and then he can do the same settings for the cameras. But your knowledge of the camera doesn't qualify you to be a DOP or a director just like that. For directing, personally, I do not like to handle cameras. I can use the camera, I can set the camera, but I don't want to handle the camera because it is quite distracting if I am directing.
Okay.
Yes, I haven't been a DOP on any project yet. Oh, well, there was this one project, but that wasn't serious. So it doesn't qualify you. Directing, there's a lot of, you need to learn how to block, you need to learn how to pull out emotions, you need to learn how not to mix up or cross your lines. There's a lot of technicalities, not just knowing how to use the camera.
Okay, so what is that mistake that other filmmakers make in the industry that you've noted and you do not want to do same?
Hey, I won't say anything. I won't say any mistake.
I'm shaking that table and
I won't say any
you're
mistake.
sitting on it, so I'm going to shake that table.
It's always a learning experience. Every film, you learn something new.
Okay.
I think a lesson every filmmaker should learn is delegation.
Okay.
Creatives generally, filmmakers especially, we are very emotional about our work.
Okay.
So you would see directors, producers that want to cast, they want to choose camera angle. They want to see what the final poster of the film itself will look like. You need to be able to find a team that you trust. And that's why you'd notice many filmmakers like to work with the same DOPs over time or the same production manager over time because these people finally understand them. So filmmakers, to make a good film, it takes a village. You need to be, every filmmaker needs to be able to learn to delegate. I think we're all learning it in Nollywood now. Like, I'm really excited that there's a lot of collaboration. People are trusting more people with their projects. Yes, so delegation is a mistake that many people make, but I'm happy that we're all learning how to do it better.
Okay, so you talked about, you mentioned that you do not handle the cameras when you're on
No,
set.
no.
So what do you do when you're on set?
I direct.
Just say...
Or I function in the capacity that I'm hired to or that I am functioning in. So if I'm managing production, I am managing production, making sure the set is running, basically. Sorry. If I'm directing, I'm directing. Most of the work of a director happens before set. Yes, so you need to plan your short list with the DOP. You need to check out the set. You need to know if there are reverberations in your sound. You need to handle a lot of things before shoot day. Then on shoot day, basically, you need to connect with your actors and shoot to scripts. But then there's a script supervisor to help you. So I block. Basically, what you do, so you go on set, you block, rehearse, shoot. Rehearse, block, shoot, sorry.
When you say block, what do you mean by
block is like what we were asked to do before we started the interview. Sit in this position so they can frame you. That's blocking. Blocking, if you want to reveal a character, so you don't want to, you want the character to say, you want to see the character's face, immediately they say their name. So the person can say, I am a killer, I have done this, and my name is Randolph. And you want the camera to focus at Randolph, and you want to see a movement. So you're telling your cast to move from this point to this point, or telling your DP to move with the slider from this point to this point is blocking. Or jigget. So when you see a lot of movements, if you notice films, actors walk to a point and they stop. It's not that they want to stop. There is a tape or a marker at that point. Stop there because the camera is already focused at that position. Do you understand? So blocking, that's what blocking basically entails. The movement of camera, the movement of cast on the set.
So who are those you look up to in the film industry?
In Nollywood and Hollywood, or
Nollywood.
Hollywood.
Nollywood.
Okay, let's start with Nollywood.
Or in Nollywood, particularly, well, I respect every filmmaker, and if I wanted to call everybody, it's a lot. We have a lot of filmmakers. I respect Tolulope Ajayi's work. He's amazing. He's amazing. If you watch Closed, if you watch even the TV adverts that he's done, there's a lot of brilliance in his storytelling. I respect Judith Audu's production. Of course, Mildred Okwo is really amazing. Have you seen The Meeting? It was one of the first films that got me very interested in Nollywood. Lala Kindoju. And then I respect different filmmakers, because when you say filmmakers, filmmaker is everybody that makes a film. So I'm talking about producers, I'm talking about directors, I'm talking about DPs. I respect Nodash. Nodash is one of the best DPs that I know personally. I respect Bolaji, Opakumbi. Do you get, like, that's, like I said, there are a lot of people.
I know you can go on and on.
I'm sure all of these people, there is something unique about them. There's something they stand out for that you have seen to be able to say, okay, I look up to these guys in this industry. Okay, so what should Michael Akinrunade stand out for in the industry? Because I know a film director that once you just hear his movie, you know he's going to talk about histories, things that have happened in the past. So what do you want to stand out for in the industry?
Well, usually I would say excellence, because I do not like to choose genres. I have a strong passion for African narratives. If I had $1 million, I would make a film akin to Queen of Katwe, or Selma, or Long Walk to Freedom, something like that. But whichever genre I'm shooting, I just want, if my name is going to be on the project, I want it to be that the project was excellently done.
Okay, all right.
Secondly, and very importantly, attention to detail. Like, what makes a great film is the little things. Sound, light, many things that are overlooked are what makes us appreciate film. If you were shooting in a restaurant, you don't just want to hear the conversation. Somewhere in your mind, you are expecting to hear plates tingling. Somewhere in your mind. Like, if you do not hear it, fine. You can pass off that scene. But when you share it, it gives that scene fullness somehow. Do you get? And those are not things that you tell somebody on set, oh, you'll be hitting plates, let's shoot. No. Those are things that you work on in post-production. But they're very subtle things. For those little details that make films come alive.
All right. So quickly, what advice would you give to upcoming?
Upcoming filmmakers generally, because whether upcoming or not, you're a filmmaker and you still have to learn something.
Filmmakers. My mentor Mildred Okwa says something that always rings in my head. You make films to make other films. Filmmakers need to realize that if you are doing film, it is your work. You don't make one film and say, like, you're done, like, we life. No. So if you're making a film, make the film good enough to make another film.
Okay.
Do you understand? And like most filmmakers, well, in our generation learnt from No Film School, is write, shoot, edit, repeat.
Okay.
You write, shoot, you edit, you repeat the whole process again. As much as possible, keep putting out content.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you mentioned music earlier on. So probably if you were not a movie director or a filmmaker, you would be a music artist.
Nah.
Okay. So now we're going to put you in the position of a music artist. Are you going to sing something?
If I wasn't a filmmaker,
no.
I'll do my engineering.
You do your engineering.
Yeah.
So what happens to your love for music?
Oh, I'll be listening to it.
You'll be listening. Okay, so we've been talking. We've been talking to my. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Please don't
we'll probably
push.
do that after the show. Pull your legs better. Okay, so we've been talking to Michael Akinrunkude. I must say thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. Okay. So remember, as a filmmaker, make sure you stand out for excellence and greatness. He said something that actually got my attention. Your films, the films you make, would speak for other films you're going to bring out.
True.
When you make one and you're creative about it, you put it out there. That particular one is going to give you the fame for the rest of the other films you're going to produce or bring out there. And also for youths out there that are not filmmakers, whatever you find yourself doing, do best. Put in your best. Keep pushing, and trust me, the sky is the starting point for you. Of course, my name is Wura Olakpukwala.
And my name is Mudupe Jacobs. Thanks for watching.
Don't worry.
You must say it though.
I just wanted her to, pronounce the name of our guest again to be sure that she still got it right.
Michael Akinrunkude.
So she nailed it.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's not Akinrunkude. It is not Akinrunkude. It is Akinrunkude.
In your face. I got it.
All right, till meet
Thanks
again.
For watching.
Yes, till meet again, same time, same station.
Week.
Next week. Bye. Do have a lovely weekend.